So I've been talking a lot about the mistakes our brain can make when we are in a romantic relationship and when we are in love in the past couple of videos, because our brain drives our behavior. So in other words, if your brain makes a mistake and you blindly follow it, it may obviously be the wrong behavior. And this can be really important when you are in love, because mistakes like these can explain a lot of the challenges we face in our romantic relationships, and definitely a lot of the frustrations we can feel while we are dating someone. For example, as soon as a man you have a lot of romantic feelings for suddenly ignores you or becomes unresponsive for no reason, whether you are simply dating him or are already in a relationship with that guy, there's a first huge mistake that will be executed in your brain right away. And you've probably already felt this, because that's the mistake that then results in you checking your phone every 5 minutes or every 5 seconds. That's the mistake that makes you obsessively think about what you could have done wrong or how he could possibly be so rude, given that he probably told you that he had feelings for you or that he loved you. This may make you contemplate giving up on men altogether, at least for a while, and you may do other things that will in the end disempower you. You may also feel a very strange sensation when you've noticed that he was online, that he, for example, commented on something a friend shared, but still freaking failed to reach out to you. So let's deal with that mistake and how to fix it. I'm an author. I write books about dating and relationships and other topics that are related to handling difficult emotions. My pen name is Brian Knox because my real name is Geert, and that's just unpronounceable in English. And I got an email from 2 different women this week that had just started reading a book of mine. Now, woman 1, she thought she had a great thing going on with the guy that she was dating, and they were dating exclusively. He was kind, he was responsive, he asked her out on more dates after the first date, usually a great sign. Then he even asked her out on a weekend away. What could possibly go wrong? Sadly, as soon as those tickets were booked for that weekend, he vanished. She tried calling him multiple times. No answer. And she noticed that her mind started to obsess about this guy. She couldn't let this go. Now, the other woman, she was dating an entrepreneur whose business got in rough waters all of a sudden, so his attention shifted 100% to that business. He suddenly ignored her as well, even though she really thought their relationship was doing fine. Now, when this happens, when a man you truly like suddenly ignores you, your brain will actually freak out. It will release cortisol and other substances that put your body in a dangerous, imminent response mode. So your brain and your body go in survival mode, truly, as if you are trapped in a tiny coffin filled with very active rattlesnakes that truly prefer for you to not be in there with them. In other words, it's not cool and it always hurts. But why? Why would your brain do this? Well, our brain is always seeking pleasure and trying to avoid pain. Again, that's how we survive. So it wants to go on that great first date. And if that goes well, it wants to go on a second date. Then it wants to start a relationship, maybe get married and possibly make babies, depending on what your preferences are. But the brain wants to get this part covered and feel safe as soon as possible because it doesn't like uncertainty. So when the man you are dating or are in a relationship with responds well, gives you attention, affection, and love, then the pleasure is rolling in, and to the brain, all is well, until it isn't. Until that moment where that idiot suddenly ignores you. Again, this freaks the brain out because the pleasure has now stopped, suddenly. And because of what happened, the brain is not sure that that pleasure will ever return. So there's a lot of uncertainty in your love life, and if there's one thing the brain truly dislikes, then it's uncertainty. So the brain figures, for all I know, I was totally wrong about this guy. He may have fooled me. He's possibly dating someone else. And gosh, now I have to find someone new. I have to do some online dating. I have to waste a ton of time meeting the wrong men. And then this and that, and damn it, I had a great thing going on here. So why? Why? See what happens? The brain is figuring out that huge Mount Everest of work that needs to be done in order to feel happy again. Unless the brain figures, unless he would reach out right now and just send me something, because that would bring me immediate relief. I would feel awesome. Yeah, it truly would be awesome, right? So come on, just send me something. Is this thing still working? Aha. No wonder your brain wants to check your phone every 5 seconds. To your brain, it's truly a matter of life and death. But, and here's where this gets interesting, and this is something that I have learned from Professor Loretta Bruning, who's awesome, by the way. What you then do to fix that ache, to take that pain away, how you respond to get relief, that will be engraved in your brain as a neural pathway. So in other words, it becomes a habit, and this is dangerous. Because for example, when a man ignores you and you keep waiting, you keep looking for a sign of life from him, and he then finally gives it to you, then you will feel better. Great. But in fact, this isn't great, because now your brain will agonize even more the next time a man ignores you. Your brain will freak out and look for that sign of life even more, because the brain knows, as soon as I get that sign of life, as soon as that reassurance comes, then this pain, this ache, this stress goes away. I get relief. So that's the way to go. So the brain becomes needy, hands over the power, and thinks he's the only one who can take that pain away. But that's not true. In other words, if we do something bad in order to feel better and it works, then our brain will want to do that bad thing again and even more the next time we are in the same situation. That's a big mistake in a romantic relationship and even elsewhere. This is one of the reasons why our brain can get addicted to bad foods and to alcohol and other things as well. If it brought relief, it gets installed as a habit. Now I really want to take a moment to let this sink in, because this means if you don't fix this, if you let the brain run on autopilot when you are in love, then this here is potentially devastating while you are dating or when you are in a relationship. This here is what makes some women needy. What makes them lose themselves in their relationship, or eat ice cream after a breakup, or hold on to a bad boy. This is what makes some women build their entire life around a man they've just started dating before he deserves any importance. But, and here's the solution, if a man you are dating or a man you love suddenly ignores you and you do something else that has absolutely nothing to do with him in order to make you feel good, and you do that thing a couple of times, then that is going to be the new pathway that your brain is going to build. And that's what you will continue to do the next time, and even on autopilot. This is why some women truly don't care when a man ignores them. And not just say they don't care, because almost everyone does that, of course. That guy, I don't care about that guy, I've forgotten who he is. Was that him? No, they actually do not care. And by the way, this is not some natural gift they were born with. They've just taught themselves habits like these. So the trick is to decide what you want that habit to be the next time the guy you love makes you feel bad. And even in a great relationship, that moment will come. And it can, for example, be, okay, I make him less important and my piano lessons more important. So you pick something that makes you feel good, that's actually good for you. You can go for a run, you can make a healthy smoothie, pick whatever it is you like. Because here's what your brain learns then. Cool. Whenever the man I love hurts my feelings, I will do something good to feel better. Instead of handing over my power, instead of waiting for him to call me back, instead of waiting for him to please show that he still loves me, instead of losing myself in this relationship. Can you feel the immense power behind this very simple trick? Our brain will memorize whatever made us feel good and will want more of it. So if we do something empowering, then the brain will want more of that as well. And then the good thing becomes the habit. Plus, of course, this here makes you even more attractive to him. And at the same time, it will help you to get over the bad men way faster, to leave them behind. So the next time a man ignores you and your brain feels that uncertainty, that insecurity, wants to obsess, wants to seek a sign of life, try to direct your brain and, for example, say, okay, I'm not going that way. What's something I can do right now that's really good for me that has nothing to do, absolutely nothing to do with him? And then you do that. It's always a win-win. Because, first of all, he may not be ignoring you, he can just be busy. And you not obsessing is then really good for you and for the relationship. Now, if he is an idiot who played you, who tricked you, then this approach makes it a lot easier to care less about him and to move on, because you start getting good feelings from activities that have nothing to do with him. And if you want more techniques to master your emotions and even your brain while you are dating, when you are in a relationship and when you are married, just visit me on brianknox.com, where I share techniques, podcasts and videos that I'm not posting over here. My books, they are on Amazon. You can just type in my pen name in the search bar, If you're not using Audible yet and you sign up for a free trial using my affiliate link in the description underneath the video, then you can even get my Audible book for free as well. So I will put links in the description underneath this video. I want to thank you for watching until the end. I know I always say this, but that's because I really appreciate it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and then I hope to see you in another video.